the organization, and vast majority, about 75% of them go to state.
Mr. Chair, I don't think we need to have a formal vote on allowing them to do this raffle. I think we just have to have a
No.
consensus
Just
of all of us, and I'm in favor of it. Go after it. Earn some money.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea.
It is a great idea, but it's a far reaching thing that was not mentioned this morning, and I do have a grandson in this. Is the long-term safety. Because you teach safety and emphasize safety. And you can't say enough about that.
Yeah, I know it's a lot of work. Thank you for the time and effort that you put into it. It's a great program.
Yeah.
And I would echo
appreciate it.
Commissioner Johnson and Schwer's thoughts as well, and Waterman's thoughts that it's a great raffle. Go for it.
Yeah.
I guess the one thing I'd like to add is if over time, our facility that we have, we're shooting inside the sale barn right now. Obviously, the farm show's going on. We're shut down for 2 weeks. That facility itself, while it works, is less than ideal for what we could, it's dusty, it's dirty, it causes damage to the guns. We have to oil them constantly. I mean, with that, just ask the public in general, if there are any opportunities for other facilities that are available, our program could desperately need it to continue to grow, or we'll continue at status quo and start turning kids away.
We'll keep working on that.
Yes, yep. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Hey, if Todd would come up and give us a veterans report.
Shooting
Good.
sports.
What's that?
It says, do you still have any shooting sports? You don't have any, huh?
No,
You're there for the results or the next step after the shootings?
yes. We don't want no shooting in the VSO area. Okay, good morning, everybody. We'll go over the metrics here quickly. We did start a new year here, so we got 186 current open claims, 102 pending action from the VA, 13 that were completed in January. Currently working 22 veterans outside of Codington County with 38 previous claims completed. Right around just shy of $5,000 for the month of January 24 for increase of monthly compensation to veterans or their dependents. Again, year to date would be just under $5,000 there. Retro payments for the month of January were $164,000 and some change. So yeah, we had a couple of big claims with retro payments that came through in the month in January. That's a couple of those. The one was probably being worked for, I think we filed that one back in March, finally came through to the VA. So again, the VA is overwhelmed, I think, from the standpoint that, and I don't know if I mentioned it in January, that they're projected to be over 400,000 claims behind this next year. But they are trying to hire, again, when they're hiring new people and they're training. I've talked with some of the people that are in the VA system. Their training is very quick, not maybe as good as it was a few years ago, because they're just trying to react with all the influx for Honor the Pact Act. That has then hence came back, and we see it on some of the claims that people are going maybe a little too quick, or they don't know what to look for. So the claims come back and they have a mistake or two. We've actually probably done, I don't know, 3 or 4 what they call a higher level review, is that the evidence is there that we see from our standpoint. The VA didn't find in favor of the veteran. So we asked the VA to go back in and assign another more experienced rater to come back and take another look at the evidence. We're able to point out some stuff on a statement. We've had pretty good success with them. They seem to go fairly quick. So maybe that might be a new, that's kind of a good thing from that standpoint. So anyway, keeping going here. Recently, we've had some concerns. There's been some talk within the veterans community. There are people, companies, organizations that are offering, kind of scamming or trying to take advantage of the veteran population and their dependents. stating that basically, hey, we can file that claim for you. You have possible benefits that you could attain. A lot of the time, I would tell any veteran that's maybe listening or going to read this later that you don't have to pay anybody to file your claim. There's plenty of VSOs, county VSOs. Talk to your local American Legion, the DAV, the VFW. They can get you in touch with a accredited VSO that will help you for free. There's no need to pay anybody or to give up part of your compensation for somebody to file a claim for you.
Right.
And nobody's going to be walking door to door. This was told by the State Department of Veterans Affairs that they had a couple of people that had called in and said that somebody had approached them at their house saying that, hey, we could file this claim for you. You pay us $50. Yeah, that's not anybody that's working for the counties or for the South Dakota Department of Veteran Affairs. So veterans, it's veterans independence. There's no reason to pay anybody to file a claim for you. I guess that's my big takeaway. Don't get scammed, Driver training, we currently have 6 drivers. The people out of Sioux Falls are going to come up and do some refresher training here tomorrow at the Watertown Readiness Center. And we're always looking for more drivers from that standpoint. Future, the Sioux Falls VA is going to be out to the farm show like they were last year. We took out a bunch of cards. They handed them out to veterans as veterans had questions as far as filing a claim or something of that nature. So we'll stop out and see them. They do a good job there of the awareness there. 2nd Battalion is going to have a 20-year reunion here in Watertown. I'm part of that group, so we put together some briefings. We're going to have the VA out of Sioux Falls, the South Dakota Department of Veterans Affairs, the South Dakota National Guard, and what they call the South Dakota Transitional Assistant Advisors. They're going to be given a group of briefings on the 23rd of March at the Watertown Community Center. These briefings are going to cover and kind of geared more towards the Gulf War and post 9/11 veterans and discuss Honor the Pact Act, presumptives, conditions, claims, stuff of that nature, some of the benefits there. This is open to, we're going to open up these briefings that will be held from 9 o'clock till 12 o'clock. And then again from 1 o'clock till 4 o'clock. This is open to the public. If you're a veteran from that time frame and you want to come listen, and they're going to talk anywhere from, VA benefits, Honor the Pact Act, retirement, TRICARE. There'll be a few booths set up out there. So any local veterans that want to come out, we're definitely welcome them for that standpoint. So, also, we talked about the VA Medical Center. It's going to be coming up here and hosting a women's veteran event sometime August, September timeframe. I think I mentioned that last month. Other than that, I will meet with the commanders tonight and be on the radio Thursday morning at KWAT at 8:40-ish and KXLG around 9:05-ish. So any questions of me?
Hey, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say that's what the VSO is doing, what Todd's doing is and going back and helping veterans with claims that get turned down initially. That's a big deal, and that's a huge help to folks. And I know that the VA bureaucracy can be pretty daunting, and so your expertise and your attention to that is I just want to let people know that's a big deal.
Yes, thank you, Todd.
Thank you, Todd.
Have a great day.
Yes, thank you.
And your sidekick also.
You bet.
Okay, item 8, we need to approve a resolution to designate county officials for fire suppression assistant requests.
Yes, that's correct. So this is done on a yearly basis. So whenever we change the chair, we just need to change that designee. So it's just procedurally something that we need to do and notify them of that.
Who was it last year?
Lee, it's the chair. It's always the chair of the
I'll
board.
make a motion to
So-
designate Chairman Weir.
Motion
Second that.
Motion by Commissioner Van Duzen, second by Commissioner Johnson to approve this resolution. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Need, Rick, would you like to come up? We'll go over that action to authorize the signing of that easement on that bridge.
Good morning. Yes, this is just the easement on the north side of the bridge that is planning to be replaced next year from the MAC Trust. Just to have the chair sign it so we can continue the paperwork on that and get those people their money.
Okay, need
I'll move.
a motion by,
Second.
motion by Commissioner Johnson, second by Commissioner Waterman to sign this easement. Any further discussion?
Would you just want to add the amount of consideration,
What was that?
the amount of the consideration?
$3,440.
Thanks.
This was just the north side.
Just the north side.
Any further discussion?
How big of an area was that again, Rick?
Oh, it was like a 0.25 acres of permanent easement, and then there was like 1.1 of temporary easement. Then it's all right along the bridge into the creek, so.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any further comments or discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, let's just go right to number 10. It's an action to approve amended resolution for the county weight and speed limit on the roads.
I gave you guys, what I do every year is just the generic date of February 15th. And I've checked with the Highway Patrol and our state's attorney. We need to put the weight limits on sooner because of the nice warm weather we've had. Now they're talking rain tomorrow night into Thursday with possible snow. And yeah, our roads are soft right now. If you guys have been out in the country at all, they're soft. And we haven't had the cold weather to keep them hard. Usually we get a little thaw in January, but we've had a little more than a little thaw. So I'd like to put the load limits on tomorrow.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner
Second
Gable,
motion.
second by Commissioner Van Dusen to put the load limits on.
This was resolution number 2024-4.
Any further discussion?
And just so people know, this will go into effect tomorrow,
Tomorrow,
February 7th.
correct.
Okay.
7 ton per axle, 40-mile-an-hour trucks.
Okay. We're gonna get that out to the news media.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Perfect.
Let's see.
That'll spread rapidly.
Yeah, I'm sure it will, but
Yes, it will.
can only do so much. I get it, but
Yep.
it's earlier this year, so.
And like I said, I wouldn't have put them on. Usually they don't go on until March, but usually we're not this warm.
Yeah,
No, this is just a unique year.
Yes, it is.
We thank you we thank for the uniqueness.
Yes.
well, and the purpose is to protect our roadways,
Yep.
you know, because they are soft.
Yes, they are. Asphalt is very expensive.
Yes. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rick.
Yes, thanks, Rick. Okay, item 11 is discussion possible action to issue a request for proposals for a construction manager at risk service for the potential jail. Lee, do you want to comment on that?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, thank you. So what this is based on the advice of Tegra, who we hired at our last meeting. So they're our owner's rep for the construction process, you know, the whole thing. So pre-design to possible construction, to referendum to possible construction. And one of the key things that they advise us to do is to not just hire an architect in the pre-design process or the pre-vote process, but to also to involve a construction manager early on in the process, which is something that's, I guess, not typical if you don't have somebody helping you out with this. So the idea is you get more accurate cost estimation at the beginning in the pre-design process. So it's hopefully it'll be less, but the main thing is you want it to be accurate as you're talking about how much it would be to potentially construct a jail. And especially important as we want to explain things to the voters, we want to do it accurately. The thing about this, though, by law, we have to bid out this because of the construction manager, you do have to have a competitive process by state law because of that. So if we pick somebody, the idea would be that we keep them through the whole process, if the referendum were to pass and take it through the whole process so we don't have to recompete it. There's always that, if for some reason it doesn't work out, we can go back and hire, rebid it out to get another construction manager if something doesn't go right. But the idea is that we get them involved early on and keep the same person. That's the ideal, and that's what the goal of this is. As far as how you pay for it, so this is the initial pre-design part. So the part up into a potential referendum would be to be included in that $70,000 that we budgeted for the pre-design process. So anyway, the motion is this. I'll make the motion that we approve this. So to issue this RFP, this request for proposals, and you can see throughout the document there are two typographical changes that I'm recommending, but they're pretty minor, and I can work with Mr. Strasberg from Tegra on those particular things. But anyway, so my motion is that we publish this RFP for construction management services.
The motion by Commissioner Gable. Is there a second?
Second the motion.
Second by Commissioner Van Duzen. To issue this request for this RFP. Is there further discussion?
Yeah, I'm gonna throw in my 2 cents here. We've been told 2 times in the past how bad we needed a jail because of population's going up. Now we get a proposal that there's one of these sheets, where it's minimal to no growth. Now we hear it's a safety factor, it's a safety factor, it's a safety factor. So I'm not sure which I believe, and I think we're being kind of fed a line along the line. Or is it because Brown County has a new jail and Brookings has a new jail, so we need one too?
Mr. Chairman, can I make a comment?
Go ahead, Commissioner Gable.
Yeah, so it's a good thing if our numbers are lower. We've been paying a lot of attention to to detention alternatives, as folks know, and over the years since our last referendum on this topic in 2017, we've apparently had some success to some extent with the help of our judicial system, with the help of our judges, and keeping people out of jail. But we've never deviated. It's always been a problem of safety. I'm not sure why we would say that's a new thing. That's actually the main thing. We have an outdated jail. We all know that the people who run the jail are law enforcement personnel who are in there. The correctional officers cannot directly see the inmates, and that's the primary problem that we have. So we've always talked about safety. I mean, we know that our workman's comp claims are highest among our jailers. So this is about giving our law enforcement officers a safe environment to work in and a way to do their job safely.
Well, I'm gonna rebuttal that just a little bit, Mr. Gable. Yes, we've heard that there is new, there's evidence of this and this, but I've never seen any statistics on how many people and what type of injuries and how serious and how debilitating it is. And I feel that's very important too before we would proceed.
Mr. Chair.
Go ahead, Commissioner Van
If I
Duzen.
can, I guess. Your comments are taken, Charlie, and I appreciate that. I can speak firsthand because I've seen injuries occur in our detention center, and I've seen injuries happen in our jail. From the design and layout. I've seen people brought in by officers, and it results in a confrontation right in the booking area with unfortunately, people getting hurt, and our staff has been hurt. I know we've had jailers who have been out on workman's comp because of injuries that they've suffered in the jail. A jail is a serious place, and our jail is a hard jail. It's not designed, especially the booking area is not designed for processing those inmates safely. And so modifications have been done to that area to make it bigger, to make it maybe a little softer. And when I say that, well, I'm talking about not so much steel and concrete, because that's what you have all the way around you, but it is a risk. And I think, you've probably toured the jail, I would assume, and have seen the layout. And so I think that there is a significant risk for the people that work in that facility each and every day. And if we can, at least look at this proposal and at least have that conversation at the county level and with our constituents, then I think we're doing due diligence in what has to be done at this point. We know we have a problem, and I know that we have to address it. Is there ever a good time to spend money? No, there isn't. But I think that, if this ultimately doesn't go through, I think we can say we did due diligence and we at least looked at the problem and we tried to address the problem. So my point being, I guess, is that we do have a safety issue with our jail. We do have a safety issue with our folks that are working in the jail, not only for the staff, but also for the safety of the people that we are bringing in to be detained. And so I think we're obligated to at least address that and take a look at that and see what action we can take as this commission to address that. So that's all I have, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
Well, I'm sure there is, but I would just like to see some facts and figures instead of just, oh, we have a problem. Oh, we have claims. I'd like to see, we're doing all these studies and we're spending all this money on the jail studies. Why can't we get a study that shows all the injuries, the claims, the severities and stuff like that, which is all in-house, which I've never seen.
Yeah, I
Mr.
guess
Chairman,
Yes, Commissioner Gable, go ahead.
in the previous iterations, I have not pulled that together for this particular iteration, but I have done it in the past, and we do. And the workman's comp claims are highest among the people in the jail. I mean, among our correctional officers. As far as other studies, I mean, I'm sure Commissioner Waterman's familiar with the study we did from the National Sheriffs, or the National Sheriffs Association. They did the National Institute of Jail Operations. I mean, I'm sure he's familiar with that study that we did back in preparation for the 2017 iteration. And it talks in detail about the safety issues of the jail plant, the physical plant, the building itself.
Mr. Chair, if I can I just ask our state's attorney, not to put her on the spot, and I'm not looking for a hard, and if you don't know, please tell me, but since you're here, I'm going to ask you this question. Knowing that we have a potential problem that we're trying to address, does that put the county at any more liability knowing that we have that problem?
It could become an issue if there was litigation to come up.
I'm sorry, can you come up?
Yeah.
Sorry.
It could become an issue if litigation was to come up that we have acknowledged that there are issues within the jail. And if we were to do nothing to try to move forward on rectifying those issues, that could be a point if there was a lawsuit initiated.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
And I would just add, I mean, we do prosecute frequently for assaults on our correctional officers, on our law enforcement officers by inmates within the jail. We also prosecute frequently on inmate violence within our jail. There are severe safety concerns for our employees at jail.
Well, I just, and
Thank you.
my thing is not that there isn't safety things, that not there isn't claims, injuries, but I just like to see those numbers from our local jail. And the outfit, because I've been told many, many times how dangerous it is to be a police officer. And when you look at the list of the most dangerous jobs in the country, farming is much more higher on the list than being a police officer.
And how ironic that you would make that comment, Commissioner Waterman, the same week that we're burying one of our own in law
Saying
enforcement.
that. I did
So,
not
so
say
I,
that to
I
say
take
that
offense to that
respect.
comment.
That's,
Mr.
May-
Chair.
May I add to that? Just since I've become auditor, I would just say the majority of our work comp claims are detention center staff.
Thank you for all your comments and sharing about that. Yeah, I feel the same. We're doing this not because we want to spend money. We're doing this because it's our job to look out for all the public's welfare. And we'll go through the process, and ultimately it's up to a vote of the people. And we'll just show the facts. And as Charlie stated, we will continue to show all the facts because we want to be as transparent about the whole thing so people understand.
And I'm sure that those are numbers that can be gathered, Charlie, if you
No, I'm
want to
sure
know
they
what those
will be,
are.
and
I'm sure
I
Brad
look
and
forward to seeing them.
state's attorney can work together
Yes.
on that. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
And the motion that we have on the floor is basically has nothing to do with work. Well, it does.
Well, it
but
does, yeah.
It's a request for a proposal.
It's all part of the process.
Yeah, it's all
Yeah.
part of the process.
And this study or this,
Yep,
these
and-
facts with the
and motion.
safety are part of this process.
Yeah, the motion's been made and seconded. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 12 is with the action to set the compensation for the 2024 election judges.
Okay, I have decided to, Cindy had raised this just a couple years ago. I am going to keep the compensation the same as in previous years. So that amount is $225 for election day, plus $50 for attending the election schools and trainings.
Move to approve.
A
Second.
motion by Commissioner Johnson, second by Commissioner Gable to approve the compensation for the judges. Any more discussion?
Just curious. We always talk about election judges, and I know that this is a long time away from now until the primary is still a general election. Have we had anybody get off, add or taken away from the list?
Yes, there are some that have stated that they no longer want to be, and I do get individuals that will drop in and drop off names. So it's just a process, and then you gotta make sure they're in the right location and right party and all that sort of thing. But yes, that is a revolving door, actually, that some of those individuals do change.
And I'm just gonna use my district. I was talking to one lady that was gonna be, said that this would probably be her last year or was gonna ask to resign. I don't remember which. But when you have an election worker, does that election worker have to be from the district, say a District 2?
I believe that is so that they need to be within that area. But I will check that out for sure. But I mean, yes, I'll
It makes
look
it a
into
lot
that.
more difficult, of course.
Right, exactly, because a lot of those individuals that have been very faithful, you know, they're all, you know, aging as well. So there comes a point that they don't want to do that anymore, and so it becomes an issue.
Yes, it does, and it's more down the road, more serious.
Please refresh our process. I think that if we know an individual that shows some interest in it, is it the proper procedure to contact the auditor's office?
Yes, that would
Okay.
be correct.
Just so
They can
people
contact
know
them.
out there
Yep,
that if they have an interest, that's what they should do.
yes. And we will be starting that process to see where our numbers are and that sort of thing too, so.
What about Republican, Democrat, independent, is it?
There's a balance on those boards that you have to have all of those different parties represented. Yep,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Okay, we have a We haven't voted on that yet. We have a motion and a second to set the compensation. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 13, action to approve abatement applications.
All right, we have one abatement application. It's record number 948. The abated amount of tax is $325.26. And the reason is that there was an error on the land valuation of this parcel.
I'll move to approve that.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Van Dusen, second by Commissioner Waterman to approve this abatement for 948.
$325.
Oh, 300.
$325.26.
Oh,
$325.26.
any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Action number 14, action to approve claims for payment.
All right, the only claim we have this month or this week is for the January claims. And as you notice, everyone's name is listed because the very first time that we pay salaries in January, we need to list everybody's individually. But the total amount of salaries is $748,016.57.
Move to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Johnson,
I just
Second.
have,
second by Commissioner Gable. Go ahead, Commissioner Waterman.
thank you. I was looking through this list and unless I could have easily missed it because there's a lot of them here. But I was looking under, Cindy Bruggeman. Got part-time at $40 an hour, but there was no amount listed.
It's just per hour, you know,
What was
it
her
varies.
compensation? How much was her compensation?
I'd have to go back and look because it varies from week to week. She's not coming in full time. So it just depends on what's going on.
But still, it would be, it's a figure that should be listed.
Well, I guess I can, for January, I can find out what that is and let you know, I guess. I don't know if our
Yeah, I
other
don't-
hourly
I
ones
suppose
are
they
for,
could do the math and deduct everything out and then come up with a figure.
well, I can get that to you, I guess, if that's what you would
Okay,
like.
Thank you. That's the only question I had on it.
Any further discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
We have no budget supplements.
No number 15. Number 16, action to approve personnel changes.
All right, we have two personnel changes. The first one is Jacob Whitaker, part-time deputy sheriff in the sheriff's office. His effective date is 2/1/2024. Step 3, new rate of pay is $28.94. And he is a new hire, if I didn't say that. The other one is Gavin Wright, deputy in the sheriff's office. Effective date is February 1st, 2024. Step 5, grade 40, 3041 is his rate of pay, and this is also a new hire.
Move to approve.
Motion by
Yeah.
Commissioner Van Dusen, second by Commissioner Gable. Any more discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Number 17, action to approve travel requests.
Yep, you have a couple of those. One is for the highway department to go to training, and the other one is the sheriff's office for training as well. And that, as you can see, partially will be paid by a grant.
Move to
Motion
approve.
approved. Second.
Motion by Commissioner Johnson, second by Commissioner Gable to approve the travel requests. Any further discussion?
Rick, just as a matter of public input, MSHA, not everybody knows what that means, so what does MSHA stand for? Good question.
Safety training.
Oh. Yeah, it's mine safety. And John,
Okay,
that's like, when you read it off, I'm like,
Yeah, you know, I think of M Shaw and I think of, there's an E in front there, but it's not, it's an M.
The
Shaw.
reason he has to go to this is because he went on his honeymoon when we had it here, so he gets to go somewhere else.
Yeah, and no, I know what it is. It was just a matter of letting the public know.
Oh, okay.
Common sense, it's, if you're hauling gravel out of a pit, you have to have your hard hat on. That's what it amounts to. It's all the safety precautions in the pit.
Correct.
This is required training.
This is,
Yeah.
that is required every year. We have to do it.
Any more discussion? Okay, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 18, possible quorum for commissioners. It's possible we, at the farm show. As
Tomorrow
listed.
at the Republican,
Oh, at the,
Geo.
yep,
up at the Pizza Ranch.
yep.
Wednesday, tomorrow.
Anything else? Myron, do you have anything in your book or?
I can look. I was thinking if I should, actually, the farm show for me has already started. We had the crop show on Friday and so we always do that the Friday prior to the start of the show. And it's all done and all set up and we had 107 samples come in and I think the ironic part of all that is that there were 20 samples of ear corn. Ear corn, people, you know, why do we have so much ear corn? We usually get 1 or 2 samples, but somebody says, well, it's easier, but it's not. Because you gotta pick that ear corn when you're harvesting the corn. And then you have to select the ears that are just alike. And then you have to hang it and dry it for all the rest of the year until a farm show and then exhibit it. So if you go out there, take a look at the ear corn samples, because they're very, very nice. The squirrels are just chomping at the bit to get it, get at them.
Oh, it was so much easier when you picked one.
Yeah, but I invite everybody out to the farm show. It's a great opportunity. You know, I've been going out to that farm show since Tags was a pup, but there are certain people out there that I only see them once a year, and it's at the farm show. And they're from out of town or from wherever, and sure enough, I always run into them. So it's kind of a great way to reacquaint with people and a lot of these people, we all have the same things in common related to agriculture. So I invite everybody to get out there and enjoy it. Other than that, unless anybody wants to go with me to get my eyes checked, I don't have anything.
Okay, thank you. Is there any old business?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, just if I could update the board on a couple
Yeah.
things.
Go ahead, Commissioner
Yeah,
Gable.
continuing on with the Cottington County Justice Advisory Committee process as we're looking at the possibility of a new jail. So Tegra is helping us through the process with the 6 proposals that we had for architectural pre-design services. They narrowed it down to a short list of 4. And right now, some of the members of the CCJAC are going to spend a chunk of the day. The 28th is right now what we're thinking of. We are waiting for some more information from some of the shortlisted architects, but the 28th would probably be the day that we're going to do the interviews. That's not the entire CCJAC that's going to be doing that, but because we just want to have the same set of people, you know, throughout the process of interviewing whoever we end up interviewing of those 4 architects. And then the day after that would be the day that on the 29th is the meeting of the CCJAC for people who want to come and watch. That's going to, right now we're planning on 5:30, but that's mildly tentative, but I think that's going to be the date where we do it. So the 29th of February, leap year, by the way, interestingly, at 17:30, I'm sorry, 5:30, speaking military talk, 5:30, probably at the courthouse. And that would, the main agenda item there would be to arrive at what architect we want to recommend so that the CCJAC wants to recommend to the Board of County Commissioners. So that's kind of what's going on right now with that.
Thanks for the update, Commissioner Gable. Any other new business? Item 21, now's the time for public comment. If there's any one for public comment. There's any commissioner comments?
Mr. Chair.
Yeah, go ahead, Commissioner.
Just wanted to give everybody an update on House Bill 1092. That's the 911 surcharge funding bill. We are continuing to follow that. It has made its way through the House Taxation Committee. It's made its way through the House floor. On Thursday, I'll be on Pier testifying in the House Judiciary Committee in support of that bill. So it is being watched. It's being supported by the County Commission Association out in Pier, as well as the Police Chiefs Association, Sheriff's Association, NENA, APCO, and a lot of the other groups. So there hasn't been any outspoken opposition yet, knock on wood, to the bill. And so we're hoping that it'll sail through the Senate committee and then Senate floor, and then it'll land on the governor's desk. So basically, if you're not familiar with what that bill is, it's to increase the 911 surcharge funding from $1.25 to $2. So to help catch up with where we need to be. So it's a fee that hasn't been increased in over a decade. So we're hoping to see some action on that later this week. So just an update for you, Mr.
Oh,
Chair.
thank you.
Actually, there's like quite a few bills out there that relate to the counties and review them and look at them. I think, I don't know, Senate Bill 105 or something like that. It has to deal with the veteran service officers.
Yes.
And I've been watching that and it hasn't moved, so I don't know what the when it's gonna go to committee or anything right offhand, but keep an eye on all those because they affect us.
Do you know who the main prime sponsor is on that bill?
Oh,
Because I would definitely talk to them while I was out in Pier this week.
yeah,
So
I don't remember.
I'll look it up. Thank you.
Okay, we do have a need for executive session. Is there any other comments for the commission?
Move approved, to go into executive session.
Second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries.
Will there be any action afterwards?
Um,
Anticipated action?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No.
Okay. For what purpose is the executive
Oh,
session?
number 1 and number 2.
Discussion of personnel issues and consulting with legal counsel.
Yes.
Okay. Contract.
Mr. Chairman, can we just, as we do that, can you leave me on the Zoom, but stop the streaming?
Yes.
The wireless customer you are calling is not available. Please try again later. El cliente de servicio. The auditor's office.
Hi Cindy, is Brenda still in the commission chamber?
No.
Okay, I just got kicked out of the Zoom meeting. I don't think they meant to do that, but if you can,
Get it back on. Okay, she's gonna go back in there.
thanks, thank you.